Can you help explain that?
Thank you so much, Senator. Yes, actually I can. As a matter of fact, here in California, there's a law that's about to be passed called AB 2223. And this law basically will allow, as a woman is in the midst of chemical abortion and she delivers a baby alive on the floor at any stage of pregnancy or in a hospital, that baby, if this law is passed, has the ability to be born alive and left to die. No matter what, baby in the womb or outside the womb has value. And we are not just talking about the value of a life in the womb right now. We are also talking about the value of a life in California after it is born and allowing it to die up to 20 days after birth.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Supreme Court's decision, Dobbs, was victory for democracy in America. Abortion is an issue on which the American people have strong impression of views and disagree, as the witnesses here at this hearing demonstrate. Those disagreements have been long-standing, and the way our Constitution operates, typically on issues in which there is sharp disagreement, it is the democratic process that resolves that disagreement. When the Supreme Court decided Roe v. Wade in 1973, 7 elected judges said to the American people, your views don't matter. Your desire to protect innocent life doesn't matter. We know better than you. And we are going to prevent you from making decisions about protecting life. The consequence of that has been 5 decades of deep political division because the democratic process was prevented from operating. Now, let us say 3 majority of the Supreme Court has overturned that decision. Questions of abortion will return to the elected branches of government. The democratic process will be allowed to operate. That will mean in white blue states, tragically, we'll continue to see unlimited abortion bans. And in rare states, we will see some meaningful restrictions on abortion. And those restrictions will vary state by state, depending on the values and mores of their citizens. That's how our Constitution was meant to operate. If you disagree with the abortion laws in your state, you have an outlet to express that disagreement. You have an outlet to be involved in the political process. You have an outlet to advocate for what you believe the law should be. You're not forced to live under the rule of unelected judges operating as philosopher kings and creating the rules for 330 million Americans. I believe abortion is a tragedy. The over 60 million unborn children who never breathed a breath of air, who lived, never danced, who never hugged, who never loved. Our country is far poorer. Millions of African American children who never had a choice. So they contribute to our country. Unfortunately, one of the consequences of court taking this out of the democratic process is today's modern Democrat Party has become radicalized on abortion. Planned Parenthood versus Casey, a lot of people don't know that the Casey in question there was Bob Casey, who was a Democrat and was pro-life. Today's Democrat Party has said, if you're pro-life, get the hell out. Your views are not welcome in our party. Part of the reason the Democrats in this hearing are painting the Dobbs decision in such apocalyptic terms is they know their view of abortion, which is unlimited abortion on land up to the moment of birth, partial birth abortion with government funding, with no parental notification and no parental consent, is supported by a tiny minority of Americans. They know the voters, when given a chance, don't support that radical view. And I will point out, there was a time when Democrats used to say the same thing. We all remember Bill Clinton who said he wanted the abortion safe, legal, and rare. Today's Democratic Party doesn't want it rare. It wants as much abortion as possible. Well, I'll tell you this. When Roe v. Wade was decided, one Democrat who spoke up against it was a fellow named Joseph Biden, who said in 1974, quote, I don't like the Supreme Court decision on abortion. I think it went too far. I don't think that a woman has a sole right to say what should happen to her body. That was Joe Biden in 1974. And you may say, okay, that was a long time ago. All right, let's go to 2007, just 15 years ago. 2007, Joe Biden. Tim Russert says, you supported that ban on late-term abortion. Biden said, I did, and I do. That was 15 years ago. Just weeks ago, the Democrats in this body voted to strike down every restriction on abortion across this country, including bans on partial birth abortion, and every single Democrat but one voted for it. Now, maybe you might say, you know what, Joe Biden was out of step. Well, there's someone else who had similar views, the chairman of this committee. In a June 1983 letter, the chairman of this committee wrote, quote, I have clearly studied the issue of abortion and death. in favor of the Eagleton Amendment, which states clearly that the right to